Hey, friends! Welcome to the Navigating Sisterhood podcast, where we unpack all things friendship. I'm Allison.
I'm Mia.
And we know adulting can make it hard to stay connected. So we are here to help you navigate the sometimes challenging, but always rewarding world of friendships. So share this with a friend, and let's dive in.
Let's dive in, friend. Shall we start with our announcement?
Yes, we've been announcing it the last
Yes.
few episodes and want to continue that as we're getting close to the date. So what is it?
Big tip weekend.
We're almost there, y'all. We're almost there.
So November 22nd, Saturday, we will be going to a Black-owned restaurant in Atlanta, Georgia, and blessing our waiter/waitress with a big tip. So what we're asking is that you join us, actually physically in person. Come out, hang out with us as we have a good time with fellowshipping with each other. We are asking that you bring a minimum of $100 for a tip. So that goes beyond what your food is, but just a tip to really bless somebody for this holiday season, to help them get some more groceries, to help them with Christmas gifts and all the things that they need for the holiday season. So we just want to bring a little bit of cheer to Atlanta. Anything else?
Yeah, it's not too late to join us, so please check the description of this episode. The details will be there. Please join us. Again, it'll be Saturday evening on the 22nd. And yeah, again, if you can't do $100 tip, please just do something significant. Just as long as it's above your typical 20%. You know what I mean? Because we just want to make sure that whoever we bless, whatever waitress or waiter it is something that's significant, something that's going to be memorable, something that stands out and that will help them during the holiday season. So yeah, thank y'all in advance for joining us. We're really excited about it. We hope that it can be a yearly thing that we do.
Yeah. I'm super duper excited about it.
Yeah.
Well, friends, should we jump in?
Let's talk about it. So we've if you've been watching, you know that we talked a few episodes ago about navigating dating and how some things have changed for us. And we wanted to talk specifically to the faith part of this because of how we have been impacted in the dating space as Christian women. Okay, so I don't want to just be like, Okay, so let me just start by saying this, and we'll go from there. As a believer in the dating space, I have found myself wrestling with a couple of different ideas, or I have had to reconcile a few things. And up until this year, I had decided, well, it's my I don't want to generalize. So I'll just say this: it's been my experience that either the man that I'm desiring, my type, my list, either he's not going to church, he's not there, either he's there and already married, either he's there and maybe same-sex attracted, but wherever he at, he's not been available to me. So maybe I should broaden things, and maybe I should start searching elsewhere. And even beyond the search, maybe I should consider what my type is and what this list is. And I got to the point where I said, you know what, Lord? I no longer need my partner to be the Christian person that I had initially thought. I got to a place where I said, as long as his character is good, as long as his character is good, I'm good. Because ultimately, I just want to be loved well. I want to be taken care of. I want to have a beautiful, lifelong partnership. And maybe that's not going to come from a guy who goes to church. And I began to date, with that in mind, I'll be more open-minded. Like I was, for me, it was about realism. I had to be real. Like, let's be honest about what the data is showing. Let's be honest about what my experience is, because I think both of us have this experience where we've lived in multiple regions of the states,
of the country,
and we've had the same experience.
Amen.
Whether it was Utah or Atlanta, whether it's Alabama, Tennessee, these experiences have been similar. So for me, I decided, you know what, I'm taking the limits off of the Lord, okay? Because my blessing may not be packaged the way I initially thought. So let me open it up, because as long as he treats me right, we'll be good. And still single, so maybe that part didn't work out. But what this new experience has taught me in dating is, now that I'm dating and in a relationship, my mind has changed.
Yeah. I feel this so strong of how we limit ourselves to lists and characteristics that don't matter at the end of the day. We minimize the things that really matter, which is where you were going. And we, magnify the things that really, at the end of the day, they don't matter, because they are not the things that create a safe space for you. They're not the things that create the environment that you truly need and desire, or that you truly desire. And so in this space, I think what I've also realized is that this list, right? This paper, what we say we have to have, or what those credentials look like. Because a lot of times, we're interviewing these men, but it's just like, but sis, does the criteria need to look the same as getting a job? Like, is that the thing that matters? Truly and sincerely. And the reason I think I feel this so strong is because we've been stuck for so long, and there's so many like single women that I feel like we are overlooking and or not truly valuing what God really has in store for us.
Yeah. I have found myself saying certain cliches that now are true to me.
Yeah.
And a part of me is like, I don't want it to be true though, because it sounded so cheesy or corny, or it lacked the encouragement that those who were saying it thought it would be,
Right.
But I found myself being like, oh, they was kind of right. And while there are so many factors that play into our relationship status, what we hope to share is how our stories have literally created a new standard.
Right.
And because they're men of God.
Come on.
They love the Lord. For real.
Like, for real.
It has been life-changing. Can we just talk about it? Y'all, I have been saved pretty much my whole life.
Pretty much.
I didn't know.
I feel like we don't talk about it enough.
I didn't know.
I want a megaphone.
I'm just, let me say something. I know God can do all things. I did. There are benefits.
Let's talk about the benefits. I really think we should, because in all seriousness, the way it changes the dynamic, the conversation, what you feel, the communication, the connection, in so many ways and on so many levels, it impacts. And I didn't know how much it really could impact.
I think before sharing that, though, it's important for us to acknowledge what the common experience has been, which is why we got to the place we were in initially, which is a lot of us as Christian women, single Christian women, were dating in the church, and we were trying to make sure it was someone who had the same faith as us, and being equally yoked. That was our priority.
Yeah.
And then we began to have the same experience where if it wasn't us being dogged by men in the church, it was a friend of ours being dogged by men in the church. If it wasn't, our own experience, we're seeing, the divorce rates are high, just as high in the church as they are anywhere else. We're seeing that maybe this standard of Christianity, maybe it doesn't apply to relationships because we just weren't seeing a lot of healthy examples of love in the church.
And equally yoked is not just you go to church.
Yeah.
That's not what that is.
Yeah.
And that's what I also have seen the difference of, is like the equally yoked it's the entire thing, but it is someone that has a similar perspective of God that you have, and then are on the same level, drive, and desires for God and for life. Like, because what I have realized, which shocked me, is that not all men in the church actually see relationship the same way. Not all of them value a woman's voice the same way, or input, or sees you as an equal, or sees you as a partner. And just because you're in the church, I'm thinking we're going to be equally yoked. Just because you say the name Jesus, I'm thinking we're going to be equally yoked, and we just really weren't.
Because the truth is, not all men or people in the church actually have a relationship with the Lord. Period. Maybe they acknowledge Jesus as Savior, but have not invited Him as Lord over their lives, or maybe they don't commune with Him. Maybe it's just like, oh yeah, that's God out there, but He's not abiding and dwelling. So many of our experiences have been aligned with that kind of thing, and it's not been all bad. I don't want this to be like, oh, we found the anomalies, or nothing like that. They're great men of God. We're just talking about our experience and the experience of so many of our sisters that have been the same. But today, my mind has changed.
Tell them about the change, sis.
These men know the Lord.
For real.
And it's like, I'm not saying nothing else matters, because we are not of this world. We're very much in this world, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't want to sound so heavenly minded.
Right.
But y'all, I have never experienced this before. Ever. Okay, so it's the benefits of dating men who love the Lord.
Yeah.
Our experience has been that as you're getting to know each other, right? You're figuring things out, and maybe there are doubts that arise, right? Like, is this really, or maybe challenges arise. And before I can finish the prayer to the Lord about it,
listen,
the man done called me and said almost verbatim what I was just praying. And not just repeated it, but like with an action plan about like how to overcome this.
The action plan.
Or like, I was talking to the Lord about this because I really, first of all, even regardless of what the prayer is about, the fact that a man prays about the relationship because he understands that he needs more than himself to sustain this, the humility in that, the awareness in that, the accountability in that.
Child.
Be accountable.
Sorry, you're tickling me. Their ability to speak to the fears that you have, the ability to create a safe space for you, is truly divine, right? Because there are things that maybe you haven't even spoken out of your heart, but God downloads it to them. And then they create the environment that you need. Woo! Sorry, I got tingly.
No, for real. For real.
Go ahead.
Okay, so so this was the one moment that opened my eyes, and I was going, I'm sold. I was, we weren't even dating yet. We were just kicking it. Because again, I had decided, I know what my list is. I'm open minded. He ain't got to be, And long story short, I don't want, I'll spare all the details. Long story short, it was sidebar. I have experienced anxiety. I am diagnosed with general anxiety disorder. I try to use my words right. I experienced that, and I had anxiety. Like anxiety has been a thing in my life for a long, 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 long time. And I, have the coping skills and the tools and all the things to keep things at bay. This particular day, I was struggling and I didn't realize it. I didn't realize that the weeks leading up to this moment were really, really stressing me out. I was extremely overwhelmed. I didn't realize it. I thought I was being stretched. I thought the Lord was increasing my capacity, and the overwhelm was coming from like good things happening, like a lot of good things happening at once. And and because they were good things, I didn't take the time to check in with myself and care for myself in a way to manage things and be proactive. So it all came to the surface this one day, and he was around me, and I had a full-on anxiety attack. I hadn't had one in years and years and years. It scared me because I didn't know what was going on. I didn't immediately identify it as an anxiety attack. I didn't, because I was just crying. I didn't know why. I try to be vulnerable, but I'm not trying to just be crying around people. I don't really do that a lot. Not especially not a man like that. You know what I mean? So, long story short, I had the anxiety attack, and the way he responded to me that day changed everything. I know how anxiety has shown up for me in relationships, and I try to, ease it on in and tell people like this, this is what it is. This is my stuff. I know it's mine to carry. It's mine to manage. The way this man picked up my baggage and just held it for me until I got it together. The way he just stopped everything and was just like, he didn't ask me a bunch of questions. He didn't get startled. He didn't try to figure out what do you need to call 911. Like he was just steady. Yeah. He just held me. He didn't try to figure out what was wrong with me. He didn't like try to toughen me up. It's going to be all right. He was just there. His presence changed everything. Mm-hmm. And there was a moment in the attack where I just could not this was going on for like a couple of hours, and I couldn't gather myself. And I finally I was able to like get out the words, like, will you just please pray for me? Because I can't pray for myself in this moment. I don't know what to do. I just am out of control. And he does. He just starts praying for me. And he just begins praying the word of the Lord over me, and it wasn't no ra-ta-ta-ta-ta. It was just truth. Yeah. He just prayed the word over me. And then he began to tap in prophetically and began to speak to like fears that I hadn't even spoken about to him, and began to to remind me of my identity in Christ, and to remind me of the power and the authority that I have, and to remind me that I get to speak to things, and that in my home or where I'm at, the enemy doesn't get to terrorize me. He just began to remind me, of all of these things, and like snap me back into myself, and he didn't leave. Like it was like, he was like, I'm not leaving you. And like, I'm gonna be right here. Like, I don't want nothing from you. And in those kind of moments, because it's so raw and you're so vulnerable and you're so wide open, there's a lot of opportunity to take advantage of somebody in such a vulnerable state. He did not. He didn't. He didn't. Like, he just made sure I was okay. And in my experience prior to that, when it came to things like this, anxiety and things like this, I had people guys try to figure out like, well, why don't you, like, if this is your experience, like, why don't you just smoke weed? Or why don't you I'm surprised you don't, and from believers, I'm surprised you don't just smoke weed. That would like calm you down, or why don't you just, they're doing their best to help me. That was their best. to recommend marijuana.
Not
You know
you.
what I mean? Like their best, it did nothing for me. And in this moment, this is something I wouldn't have known other than it just happening. I wouldn't have known how he would respond to something like that. And he provided such safety for me. And from that moment has been just such a secure, steady, safe place. And to know that, because here's the thing, list all that stuff. That's all great. If you get all the checks, great. That's wonderful. But when ish hits the fan, and when you can't even get words out of your mouth because you are in a space that's so dark, is he gonna be somebody that kind of just leaves you to yourself? Is he gonna be someone that is so confused that he perpetuates the anxiety because he's, what I understood in that moment is what was highlighted is like, oh, this is why it matters.
Yeah.
This is why it matters, because in these moments, because life gonna continue to happen. Things are well now, but I mean, if you're talking about, life partnership, and I hope that, we get there. You're talking about loss, right? We're gonna experience loss at some point in our lives. We're gonna experience all kinds of challenges and difficulties. I now understand the necessity of having a partner who knows how to go to the Lord in the toughest, in the valleys, and you know what I'm saying? Because it's just like we don't have all the answers. We only know so much. We only have so many resources to be partnered with someone who knows how to tap into their higher source, their higher power, for strategy, for insight, for
Like this.
like it.
I'm gonna text it to you. I got to go. We're gonna call the pastor. We're gonna no.
Yeah.
Father, in the name of Jesus, right here, right now.
I have never had a man pray for me. Like never.
And I think that's the beauty, right? So I mentioned that, but then there's also the calling your identity, the calling out your purpose, to not letting you stay stagnant and or gifts lie dormant. It's their ability to call those things that be not as though
Literally.
they were, and
Literally.
see you for who you really are and not who you are being in the present. They can see you. See you.
No, for real. And fully seeing you and not being intimidated. Fully seeing you and not being bothered. Fully seeing you and being okay with partnering with you because they can see where they fit. They can see how they complement. They can see how this all makes sense.
Not compete.
Not need you to shrink.
Not be insecure. We're just here to encourage the women of God to not put it on the back burner, to not minimize the idea, the thought, the need, the want, the desire for a man of God. Because we're here to tell you, it makes a difference. Is making all the difference. And like we were saying, this is really not about like our relationships. It's more so about it has created a new standard for anybody.
Literally.
Family, with how we receive love and or not, and what we are willing to tolerate and or not, because we know the safety and have experienced true love in physical form. Not just from God.
It has literally been a paradigm shift.
Yeah.
Our belief systems have shaken. You know what I mean? Like, this has changed the game because again, I didn't know this was I didn't know this thing. I didn't know because, and then what I realized is, because my thing was you actually need the character to be solid. What I was looking for was the fruit of the spirit.
That's
kindness, gentleness, you know what I mean? Patience, all those things. Well, if he has those things, it's because he has relationship with the Holy Spirit. You know what I mean?
And if it's outside of God, then it is fleeting. It's not a firm foundation. So sure, you're generally kind.
Yeah.
But when the road gets rough,
Yeah.
or when we have a little tussle, or a gap or a situation, like how do you react? You realize the foundation is not as firm. You are kind, but kindness it'll switch up on you when it's not rooted in God.
There are things that we want and desire based on an ultimate outcome, right? Like, oh, you got to be this, got to be that, got to have this, got to have that. One thing I have noticed, okay, like say a generous man, generosity is something that I've been looking for in a man. Generosity. I have dated men who are very well off and were stingy than a mug. You know, so his resources did not matter because he wasn't generous. What I found is that certain things on the list, if we would get to the root of what we're looking for,
that's a word.
Then maybe the Lord would open our eyes a little bit more to see you can get this right. This is you can get that here.
It's all there. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you can get that here. Because in this example with generosity, it's gonna show up everywhere, not just with money or not just with the things. It's gonna show up in their assumptions of you. It's gonna show up in conflict. How we resolve it. Is he generous with his time? It's gonna show up in all those things. So maybe that was the root versus, oh, I want XYZ. I was looking for generosity.
Yeah.
And that is something that is an overflow of his relationship with the Lord. You know, I believe. And again, I just appreciate, because none of us are perfect, and we all have many flaws, right? And in relationship, as you're trying to bring two lives together, it's gonna be all kinds of bumps and stuff along the way. The fact that there's a man again that would invite the Lord into that space, to be Lord over that space, and to make it a regular practice to be devoted, to commune together with the Lord, it brings another level of peace. And I promise y'all this, because y'all know, we know how it is when we go to the Lord, like, Lord, like, if He's not for me, just tell me.
Yeah.
And you could have been praying for a job for 6 months. You could have been praying like, Lord, should I do this? Should I do that? For 5 years. But when you pray that prayer, the Lord answered immediately. That ain't it, And it's like, dang, Lord, like you was responding really quick to that. And every single guy I dated, regardless of how great of a man he was, when I prayed that prayer, the Lord revealed it instantly. This isn't it for you.
Yeah.
This is the one situation that I prayed that prayer and I have not received what I thought was going to be like, it's like, no. Well, it's confirmation after confirmation after confirmation, because, and I'm like, well, I'm not used to this.
Talk about the signs that he is really a man of God, because before you were saying, yeah, you're in the church, but you don't really have a relationship with God. How have you seen that like show up and be validated and confirmed in your relationship?
For me, it's, us randomly hanging out and I look over and he's studying the word. Or, every morning we talk and he's already been in his word. He's first thing in the morning. That's what he does. He literally doesn't start his day without spending time with the Lord. And at first I wasn't moved by it, because, you want to put your best foot forward. You want to put your best foot forward and make a great impression, because it's the interview stage. But after months and months, it's like,
it's the consistency.
It's really consistent, to the point that I'm convicted, because maybe I should, I get my butt out too. Maybe I should. I was reading too,
I got tools.
I was with them. I know them. So yeah, it's been the consistent devotion. That's been a sign. Also, patience.
Ooh.
The patience has been a big one.
Yeah. So seeing the fruit of the Spirit.
Seeing the fruit of the Spirit.
Yeah. I've also experienced of having conversations about what the conversation with the Lord was about. I'm like,
tap into your prayers.
Yeah. No, and then also saying like I was talking to the Lord and this is what the Lord is saying to me, about this season, or like, and knowing that, oh, you're getting direction from God. Not man, not how you feeling, not, you just ambitious. This is what God is saying in this season for you, for your family, for your life. And then he's like, and then I also include you. It's the go ahead, girl. It's also the intentionality, okay, of the dating. Yeah. That is huge for me. It's just like, oh, okay, this is not like the conversation is different from day one. The questions, the depth that we're going into is really, really different because it's like, I don't want to waste your time and go ahead and ask God about me. And that's a bold prayer.
That's a bold thing to say. You ask the Lord about me.
Ask God.
Because when we ask, he gonna respond.
He gonna say the thing.
It creates so much trust when you know they're not being led by their own whatever, that they are submitted. That's another sign to be a submitted man. Man. Like an accountable man. Because there's so much conversation around, submission and what it is, what it's not, and how we should be more, and all these things. And it's in my opinion, it makes things easier for me when I see that he's a submitted man.
Yes.
This is pretty easy. And there's something that I heard on a podcast recently. I think it was Megan Ashley. She said something along the lines of like, when you see and that like they're trusting the Lord, they're following the Lord's leading, they will always have everything they need, which means if you're connected to them, you will always have everything you need. Yeah, And because of being partnered with him, I now have been exposed to so many other men of God because what's the phrase? Birds of a feather
flock together.
So it has rewired the way I see Christian men in general. I am so thankful that I now get to balance out my perspective and say, well, I've seen, those ones over there that be raggedy, but I've also seen this right here.
Men that are committed.
Man, and I just appreciate because again, it resets my standard.
So be encouraged, right?
Yes.
Know that it's worth it. And I would just say to pause and get to know the person and assess, examine, understand truly what the relationship with God is like, because over time it'll show up. Like you said, it won't be like here today, gone tomorrow. Like the way this man be like, oh yeah, I was up 2:00 in the morning. The Lord burdened my heart. Oh, I heard you say you was up 4:30 in the morning. What did the Lord say to you? And I'm like, hey, yeah. These are the types of conversations that are being had now. And you realize how much the priority shifts and the priority in the conversation shifts. So you're not talking about a whole lot of other mess and things like that, because the main thing is at the center of it all, and it's just so worth it.
And let me just add this. There are many of us Christian women, we've been called. We know we've been called. The Lord has burdened our hearts and has given us certain assignments. It's very difficult to give the Lord a complete surrender when we are also trying to date these people who don't understand that, who may not even know how to support that because they're so far from their own surrender. It's difficult to obey the Lord and whatever it is he's called you to do when there's someone who is just not, doesn't prioritize the same things you prioritize.
Mm-hmm.
And I know what it is. I have experienced like needing to shrink, or maybe I'll just put this on the back burner until, whenever, or maybe I just won't do it all because I'm dating again. I'm good. I'm in love. I'm good. But that calling is going to keep showing up.
It's going to keep calling.
And it just so happens to where now that I'm being more active in those things of the Lord, I see the difference in dating somebody who gets it.
Yeah. Who gets it, who won't let you settle, who won't let you say, I'm going to put it over here so that we can, continue to date and enjoy each other. We'll hold you accountable. Now, what did the Lord say you were supposed to do?
Because the way this man be checking me about the things of the Lord, I be like, first of all, I'm saved.
First of all, I know him.
I know the Lord.
Okay.
And let me be, because I know some of us. It's just like, that sounds beautiful, but practically sound boring, Listen,
baby.
Step in the water. For the waters of trouble. Come on, step in.
Not when you really love him. Huh? No.
Yeah.
No, it's a beautiful thing because it does spill over into other things,
everything.
Right? So it's like how you do one thing is how you do everything.
Yes.
And if they're showing up this way and knowing that as the head and seeing you as the bride, meaning the woman and the role that they play as being the leader, all of those things, for you not have to be able to have to explain, for that burden not to be on your shoulder, for that not to be, something that you have to like figure out, how am I going to bring this up, for the Lord to already have talked to him about it and like circumvented a hard conversation. The work of it all, honey,
the way
is no longer for you.
The way I don't have to bring nothing up.
The Lord doesn't say the thing.
The Lord talked to the man because he know the man. He know the Lord.
He done told the business.
He done told it.
And for that, because sometimes I don't even get a chance to talk to the Lord about it. And it's already answered.
There was one time I got off the phone with you. I was talking about something. And I honestly was saying something along the lines of like, yeah, this little thing is just, I don't want to be that person. It was something about like, I mentioned this in a previous episode about being the gift.
Yeah.
And what that means in real time.
Yes.
Being the helper. Like there are going to be some things like, maybe he's not as organized as you, right? So I help in that way. Like I ain't going to be a secretary,
Right.
I get off the phone with her saying that. 2 minutes later, I see him and he's like, yeah, I was just talking to my pastor. And we were talking about, how much of a blessing the women in our lives are because how much they help us stay on track and how much they bring us structure. And I was just sharing with my pastor, and he was saying, yeah, my wife does the same thing for me. Look at her. And she keeps me in order and yada, yada. And I was like, I didn't even get a chance to be mad. Like, he's appreciating me for, the value that I've added. And I'm like, well, I'll keep helping.
Do make you say that.
Like, I don't even, like, they be tapped in, child.
They be tapped in.
So yeah, I'm different now. My mind has changed. Yeah. Now that I've experienced what it is today, like
absolutely
a man who actually loves the Lord, it is different.
It's different.
10, no notes. 10 out of 10. I recommend.
Highly recommend.
Highly recommend.
Yeah,
highly recommend.
Well, I hope this helped. Hope this encouraged. Hope this inspired. Hope this helped you see another perspective, because I feel like we don't talk about the men of God enough, of the value that they're bringing to all of our lives, but then also to those that they really, really do care about. Yeah. And so it's made all the difference. Okay. It's like trash to treasure, baby. And I am here for all the treasure. So with that, a sweet friendship refreshes the soul. So go be great. Bye.